and expert, motivators, mentors, and mindset coaches. These are professionals that do this for a living. They're trained to get your mind right. And that's why today I'm joined in the studios with Moe Fouda. He's more commonly known as Mo for motivation. He's a knowledge seeker who's trying to change 1 million lives. He's volunteered with children in Sri Lanka in the area of sports, and rightly so, considering that he played for the team that broke the Guinness Book of Records for the longest soccer game in history back in 2010. He says he's transformed his lifestyle in only a few years. He's now a serial entrepreneur, a mentor, and an author of a series of ebooks called Confessions of an Entrepreneur.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course. Am I the only one who says Mo for motivate?
That's the first time I hear it, but
I knew it.
But it's good. It's special.
It's catchy, right?
It's very
Mo
catchy.
for motivate.
It's very catchy. I may use that.
You should do. I hope you do. I always come up with the catchiest stuff. Mo for motivate.
I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you. Takes the bow. I love it. So tell me something. I'm really excited about your books. Your books are for entrepreneurs, for people starting businesses, for people who think they don't have what it takes. I love it. So let's tell everyone about your books.
Okay. So the story of actually writing and getting into writing books and doing stuff is explaining what I've been through, because when you go into a bumpy ride and there is not a lot of guidance, especially like I think the level of our awareness is like higher now than 5 or 7 or 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. There was a lack of mentorship, and it was a very bumpy ride that started businesses when you don't know much and getting into a lot of problems and a lot of failures in order for you to succeed. So for me, going through that, I think it's really one of the things that I should do is to give back by telling people behind or like coming to take it or like new to the not behind it then as in a level. I mean on a starting starting the process, mm-hmm. to let them know that you know what, it's okay if you fail. It's okay if you hit that wall, because there is something right behind it.
Right.
Stuff like that. So I started elaborating that into a series of books when I called Confessions of an Entrepreneur, because I would just say the way it is, what happened with me, what did I learn, mm-hmm. And put it into perspective for entrepreneurs who just starting. Maybe, as you said, they don't know what it takes. They think it's too hard. They think it is too hard, uh-huh. but there is a way to do it.
Yeah. And especially right now, people might be feeling down. They don't know what to do. They're demotivated. A lot of people have lost their jobs. So your books could really come in handy, guys at home. Mo for Motivate. Check him out.
True.
Your books could actually guide and help people right now that are going through a little slump. So when did you publish the first book?
Last year. I remember one of the main reasons was actually a guy, one of my mentors. His name is John Lee. When we talked about everything that I'm doing and whatever he's doing, he's big into entrepreneurship and he's a coach for like a lot of big celebrities. One of them is like I think Bill Clinton.
Ooh la la.
So he worked with big people in the industry, and he was saying you have to write.
Oh, good for him.
I remember this very well, and he was saying whatever you go through, you have to write it, because you don't know. Sometimes we undervalue what we know, and it's very valuable for other people. And I like now going through it, and I started to give back and started to like to coach people, I can mentor people, I can write stuff. I feel like it's too bad if you have an information that you hide it and you don't share it. It's actually bad for the community.
Right.
It's like you have to share what you know, because we all undervalue what we know, mm-hmm. and we think it's not going to be very valuable for someone else, which might be a life changing for someone else because they might take it in another way. So this is why I think I'm so into it.
I love it. So you published your first book, you got a good response from that, and then you said, hey, I'm turning this into a series. Or did you always have that in mind, or did it?
How did you get that?
I don't know, I'm more for motivate. I'm just so motivated sitting here. I feel it.
That's
I
so
do
true.
feel things, actually.
Yeah. And just for the record, I never told her that. But
nope,
yeah.
You didn't. I know. Nobody
yeah.
did, by the way.
So it was a very, very small ebook. It was just, it was a sort of an article that I tried to turn it into, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to go.
Because I took a look at them as well. The first one was a bit smaller, the second one was bigger.
Yeah.
So I realized, I said, okay, he probably put one out there, he got a great response, and then he decided to do another. That's how I felt about it.
This is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That leading me to that, because it was a response to people, and they wanted to know more. And the first one was just about the entrepreneurship,
starting a business,
and how hard it would be, and how can you use the resources around, and your why. When I talked about your why, I
love that. That's one of my favorite things.
It's one of the main reasons people don't put their why before anything, and it just sometimes when people burn out. Mm-hmm. From whatever they do, and they feel like they're not going anywhere, the only thing that holds you down is your why. Your why, yeah. Because what's your goal? Like if you want to achieve something and it's so bad, and that's your why, and it could be anything. It could be personal, as I remember I put that in the book, and I said it could be very personal. It could be very selfish with it. It could be something for yourself, and it could be something for the community. But it has to be so strong, right? That will just. It will just be the fuel. It will just keep you going. Yeah. So yeah, when I did the first book and people responded and I got a lot of good feedbacks, like, you know what? Now I'm going to put it into serious, and then the underdogs came. And I love the name, Confessions of an Entrepreneur. Because it is. I love it. I tried to come up with something that kind of related to the content. Just quickly, my second book is called Artist Confessions. Really? Yeah. Amazing. Mm-hmm. I know you didn't know that about me either. I didn't know that. But yeah. So I've published The Light, the Dark, and Everything in Between, and Artist Confessions. See, we all have confessions that we have to. We all have confessions that we have to go out to public. I really liked it. You know, I was like, I like this guy. You know, he's so good. He's so positive. He's doing so much. He's given so much back. You know, and then he has the books coming out, and you're working on your third one. You've got so much going on. The third one is A Doer. That will be out soon. It. But the underdog is, when you mention the underdog, I always get goosebumps when it comes to underdogs. Yeah. Underdogs are, look, everyone at home now are underdogs. Everyone in the lockdown is underdog. The underdog is always the one that you can bid on, because underdog have so much to gain and so much to win, and little to lose. Yes. And that what makes the pressure on the underdog a little. Underdogs think that the pressure on them are very high, but even in sport, even like in boxing or like in soccer, when you find a team, let's say the best team in the world gonna play with a team that is just got to the league, right? The underdog have not everyone understanding and everyone expecting the underdog to lose. Right, true. And that gives them a chance to expand and to prove them wrong. And man, underdogs are the best. They are. I'm with you on that. When I talk about the underdogs, I actually talk about branding, and I talk about how all these big businesses were underdogs at some point. Right. And they just beat the odds. I saw that you actually have quite a few celebrities in your back pocket. I've seen you mixing with the celebs back in the day. You were big in events. Brought a few pictures to show our audience. I think we have Fat Joe. We have, who are the other guys? There's another... Kevin Little and Oti Genesis. Kevin Little, Oti Genesis. You were with there are a lot more too. And look at you looking all swag with these guys. I love it. I was like, okay. That's totally different look than he. Okay. That's me. I love it. The G'd up, like real gangster, you know. I love it. That's me. That's me. With the camouflage jacket, you know. Totally. Guys at home, totally different guy. But don't you love the way that we can just be chameleons? We come on here, we're one thing, and he still has that life, and he's a little, excuse you, he went from hanging with the celebrities, now he's a celebrity in his own light. I love it. I'll tell you one thing. They say something very magical is when you can wear different hats. When you can wear different hats and we can speak in different languages, it's always super powerful. And I love urban fashion. I love hip hop, and I love the art, and I love the culture. Too. I love the culture of basketball and soccer and street ball and music and street artists. Yeah, I love watching. I would read a book for Napoleon Hills, and I will watch a rap battle for Big and Notorious. I would do both. I mean, I love art. I love skills. Yeah. I love the hustle. And talking about that difference, let's show our audience at home some of the pictures of
him when he is public speaking, behind the cameras. Now he's obviously the man behind the cameras. Check that out. Look at that. Very classy, very professional. He's the one doing the talking. Obviously, you're doing a lot of motivational speaking. These are events that you're attending. I love it. This gentleman here, I think, is the one you were saying that was your mentor.
Yeah, John Lee, I met him a few times. He mentored me in a lot of things when it comes to personal branding and business branding.
And here, look at you, all the cameras chasing you. I love it. They're like, Moe. But yeah, John Lee, so he's your actual mentor. And you know how good of you to come on here and say that. To say like, hey guys, I looked up to this gentleman. He encouraged me. He inspired me. And because of him, I'm doing this. Exactly. A lot of people don't give people credit. So kudos to you.
That's bad, because I give everyone credit, even the authors of the books that I never met or they don't even exist now. I mean, everyone put a brick on to give you a break, to pass you a break to build your wall. You have to give credit for.
Right.
No, look, mentorship, and it's a real thing.
Right.
And I remember watching people on Instagram and YouTube 7-8 years ago when they started doing this mentorship, like this Instagram motivational pages. And I used to connect with them. Some of them are so big now.
Oh, wow.
And I used to connect with them because I understood the value that they were trying to give. John Lee is not the only mentor, but he's one of the ones that I worked with very close.
I love it. It says, how being an entrepreneur became the new cool thing. Do you agree? I love this. Tell me a little bit about that. That was at the Disutani. I can see it clearly, but I really love seeing you up on stage there. Tell us a little bit about that and give our audience a super positive message right now.
So talking about this, that was even before the crash and the pandemic. Everyone was trying to, everyone tried to jump on things when it looks cool, not knowing maybe the difficulties of it, and understanding the pros and cons of anything is always the key to succeed. And everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Everyone wants to have this CEO on social media, which is okay, cool. I'm not against it at all. I'm always supporting the youngest. I'm always supporting the underdog.
I love your honesty.
Yeah, but you need to understand what comes with the package. I mean, don't shy away when the storm hit.
Right.
Don't try, because entrepreneurship, well, you think it's a cool thing, then ask yourself why. And you need to you need to criticize yourself before people criticize you.
Right.
Sit down at home, but I do this every day. I swear to God, I did this last night. Not just to talk about it today, but I do it like very often, that I have a piece of paper and I write down my goals and what I want to do and what I'm at, and I just start criticizing myself positively, like
totally
like when I see things, they say I don't wish for things, I expect them. There is a different mindset when you say this, because when you wish for things, when you hope for it, you make it like unreachable, but you need to expect it. Work for it. Like what I want to do. I want to do blah blah blah. I write it down 1, 2, 3, and then how I'm gonna do it. Then apply it.
Amazing.